Hey guys, I'm Kelly with fitnessblender.com, and today I'm going to talk about how to gain weight or put on muscle mass the healthy way. So I know for a lot of people who are trying to lose weight, this might seem like a completely foreign concept, and it might be, it's one of those things where it's easy to say, just eat more for somebody who wants to gain weight. But the truth is that this can be equally complicated and it can take a lot of work. It's the equivalent is saying just eat less to someone who wants to lose weight. So clearly, it's not always that simple, or it can feel a lot harder than that. So I'm going to be covering some of the ways that you can change your diet and change the way that you work out in order to gain weight. So one of the biggest things is going to be how much you are eating. So obviously you're going to want to eat more. So 500 calories a day. If you can add on 500 calories a day in your intake, that's the equivalent of 1 pound gained a week. And just like with losing weight, gaining weight is not necessarily going to happen quickly. This is something that takes consistency, effort, and some time, so be patient. So those 500 extra calories a day broken down into 3 meals and 3 snacks, so you're eating more often. And if you break it down, so you're adding those 500 calories, if you're dispersing them through those 3 meals and 3 snacks, you're talking about really less than 100 calories extra per eating time. So if you divvy up that calorie surplus into all of those meals, it becomes a lot less intimidating of a task. So the next question is, what do you eat to gain weight? How do you eat to gain weight? So I recommend not going any more than 3 hours in between eating 2 if you can take it, if you can stomach it. I don't, just like with losing weight, this shouldn't hurt you. You should never be eating to the point where you're uncomfortable. So even if you're trying to gain weight, never eat to the point where you're making yourself feel sick. It's gonna backfire and it's gonna make you hate what you're doing. So those smaller, sustainable changes that you can keep up over a length of time, those are going to be what give you the biggest results. So in terms of what and how you eat to gain weight, I still recommend keeping all of the macronutrients in your diet. So you're looking at carbohydrates, quinoa, beans, pastas, rices, whole grain breads, all this stuff. You're going to be eating that, or you're only going to be eating more of it though. Also, heart-healthy fats are a very easy way to bump up your calorie intake without bumping up the volume of what you're eating. So it's easier to bump up your calorie intake without feeling overly stuffed or uncomfortable. So you can sneak in those heart-healthy fats. You're talking about nuts, nut butters, avocado, cooking oils like avocado oil, olive oil, things like this. Dark chocolate is even, in moderation, you can fit that in there. Also, protein is a big one. The ranges that people suggest, this is a hotly debated topic, and that is an entirely different vlog, but most people are getting enough protein through their diet already. So I recommend, if you are eating meat, make sure it's minimally processed. There's also eggs and some forms of dairy, like full-fat yogurt is a good way to drive up your calorie intake. Also, if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, this is going to be a matter of making sure you're getting your food pairings right, because you're going to want that complete protein and all of your amino acids. And you may also need to do some supplementation depending on what your diet looks like. I know the supplementation world advertises very heavily. You don't necessarily need protein powders and weight gainers and all this stuff. You can obtain these goals with real food. So don't think that you have to sign up for some expensive, probably mystery ingredient supplement. You're always better off getting what you need from real food. But you need to still consider the quality of the calories. So just because you're trying to go out and gain weight doesn't mean that you should just eat, anything that can't outrun you. You still want to think of how this is going to make you feel, because you don't want to feel bad. So another small thing that you can do is to try and drink a little less water in the half an hour before you eat a meal. So I never recommend cutting out water at all, but you can just slow the amount that you're drinking in that half an hour period before you eat a meal. So if you're looking to gain weight, there are definitely some changes you can make to your workout routine that can help you do that. So I would recommend focusing on strength training, low repetition, and high weight. As heavy as a weight as you can control and complete that exercise with good form. You should be really struggling to complete those last few reps always. And I would top out at 8 reps. So 8 reps or under for those strength sets. Even if you are doing strength training, it's important to realize that strength training also burns calories. Strength training is also awesome for burning fat. So here's where we come back to the first point, where you realize that you have to be eating more. Especially if you are adding on that strength training, you're going to have to start eating like it's your job a little bit. You're going to have to start making sure that you are eating frequently and that you're eating more at each meal in order to compensate for those calories that you're burning with the strength training. So just because we're trying to gain weight doesn't mean that we shouldn't do things that are healthy for our heart, and things like cardio. They have, even if they're not necessarily in line with the goal that you're focusing on right this second, it still has a lot of benefits for your body. So I would recommend trying to use your cardio as your warm-up. So you do a warm-up before you get into your strength routine. And then I would also recommend cutting down the time in between your sets. So instead of spending 5 to 8 minutes talking in between your sets, if you cut down the rest time, you're gonna end up turning your strength routine into a sort of cardio workout in itself, which is going to help reduce the amount of time that you need to do any cardio anyway. So you'll be burning muscle while you're getting that cardiovascular benefit without just doing the cardio piece. The other kind of cardio that may actually help your pursuit of increased muscle is high intensity interval training. So HIIT is the only kind of cardio that can actually build muscle. So stay away from long endurance cardio events. Stay away from those workouts that have you just kind of like plodding away on an elliptical or a treadmill. Technically, those are really not that great for weight loss either. But so when you do cardio, keep it minimal and try to do HIIT, where you'll actually be building muscle. Otherwise, you're really going to want to focus on those strength training routines. Like I said, low repetition, high weight. One part of your workout routine that you should focus on for weight gain that is nice and easy is actually rest. So rest is a really important part of fitness. Once you have worked those muscles, you want to give them as much time as they need to heal. So doing back-to-back leg sets and stuff like this, you can actually end up diminishing your gains if you work the same muscle group really hard over and over again. So even if it takes you, 3 or 4 days after that upper or lower body routine, let your muscles heal. And another part related to rest is that you should make sure you're getting enough sleep. So I know it's easier said than done. Life is crazy. It's very demanding, but if you can, try to get at least 8 hours of sleep every night. This is when your muscles are repairing themselves and you're building muscle and your body is doing less of healing. So try to make sleep a priority. So the main thing is that you're going to want to increase the amount that you're eating and the frequency that you're eating. So like I said, even those small changes, you can put on 1 pound a week by increasing your calorie intake by 500 calories a day, or roughly 100 calories extra per meal and snack. So like I said, it's one of those things that the progress might feel slow, but even if you're gaining 1 pound a week, that's 4 pounds in a month, it's 12 pounds in 3 months, 16 pounds in 4 months, these things add up. So it's all about keeping your long-term goal in mind. So just like any other time, what I recommend is making health and feeling good your #1 priority. Body fads, they come and go, they really do. I mean, 1 minute it's in to be really, really thin, and the next you're supposed to, people are getting butt surgeries and augmentations all over. I mean, these things, they are fads, and we're talking about our bodies, which should not be, subject to every whim that comes in and out of a fashion or fitness magazine. So I recommend just always putting the health of your body first. And the good news is that you can both lose weight and gain weight while improving the health of your body. So just make sure that the changes you make are sustainable, that they are going to make your body feel good, that they're going to make you feel energetic and like you can live your life. So I just don't want people to be feeling like they're living their lives to look a certain way. You want to be healthy and fit and strong so that you can live a good life. So don't get things twisted. Make sure that your main priority is always feeling good. Thank you for tuning in with me today. If you have more questions, or if you have a vlog that you'd like to see me cover, or if you have any suggestions that have helped you gain weight healthily, I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll see you guys soon for a new workout.
Hey, Pooch. Let's put more while you record.
Yeah. Okay, ready?